Welcome to a special edition of Tricks of the Trademark podcast and video series. You can see it's special here because I've got Building a Bold Brand trademark registration certificate with me. And this was just received a few months ago, back in December of 2021. And the reason I brought it out with me today is because I want to talk about my book, Building a Bold Brand, and the exciting news that you will soon be able to find all of that content, which we're going to talk about in a moment, on video and audio, wherever you're listening to or watching this content. Maybe that's iTunes, maybe it's Spotify, and you're listening to Tricks of the Trademark podcast. Maybe it's on YouTube that you found at the ericpelton.tv channel. Wherever you found this special video, you will soon find Building a Bold Brand. Building a Bold Brand was my first book. I wrote it and published it in 2020. Yes, right around the time when the whole world shut down from the pandemic. The feedback and response that I've gotten over the last 2 years has been wonderful and tremendous. And you can see some of those reviews on Amazon yourself if you'd like. The reason I decided to now share it on audio and video is to get the content, the rich material that's contained in that book that was based on 20 years of practice, building my own firm and working with thousands of clients from all over the US, as well as my experience as an examiner at the USPTO. And I took all that content and distilled it down to some of the best, most written explanations of core trademark principles. What that covers is all the essentials that you need to know to, as we say, build a bold brand. And you can even see the subtitle of the book is The Foundations of Trademark Protection. And the foundations that we cover in the book and soon on audio and video are choosing a name and what makes a good name versus a weak name, a strong name versus a unprotectable name, why it's so valuable and important to register a name with the US Patent and Trademark Office and how to go about doing that, the tools for using and maintaining your trademark, from the proper symbols to enforcing your brand, to dealing with disputes, to renewing your registration, and then special concerns for a variety of industries, for consultants, for those in the cannabis industry, for those who are authors, and several other special topics that we cover, the most important of which is small businesses, because the core audience for my book, the core client for my work over 2+ decades has been small businesses. To circle back to the beginning, I am so pleased to be announcing that in the next few weeks and months, you'll be able to find and listen to and watch all of that content. And it's actually been updated a little bit, and you'll see it come alive a little bit more on the videos with additional graphics and images and photos. You know, if you've listened to any of my earlier content, a phrase that comes up fairly frequently is that I love to practice what we preach. And that's why I started with this registration certificate, and that's why I'm going to end with this registration certificate, because I protected the name Building a Bold Brand. I know it's valuable and important to protect my brand, just like it is for you to protect your brand. And I went through the USPTO registration process to get a registration. I proudly display this in our offices where it hangs with about a dozen other certificates. I believe that may be more than any other intellectual property law firm out there in terms of actual trademark registrations owned. But the point is that a trademark registration is a tremendous value and tool for any growing business. And we will unpack all of the reasons why and all of the hows and wheres and whys in the forthcoming episodes on Building a Bold Brand. You can learn more in the interim at buildingaboldbrand.com. You can even buy the physical copy of the book from Amazon. You can even buy the Kindle version for the lowest price possible that Amazon would let me set it. I believe that's $1.99. Now, that's a tremendous value. All this content for just $1.99 on Kindle.